Hello people, I'm here in the world of darkness to tell you a little bit about the various clans that inhabit the world. Today, we are going to talk about a relatively new clan, well, in vampire years. We've already talked about the new kids on the block, the Giovanni, and the underhanded way that they achieved undeath. But that was through an established clan unlike what the Tremere did. The Warlocks, as many call them, gained their undeath in a most peculiar fashion. To tell their story properly, we are going to have to talk about the world of darkness as a whole. If you played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, you have no doubt faced off against demons and werewolves. The world's shadowy corners are not just inhabited by monsters, but also by humans who have dedicated their lives to magic. That is the origin of the Tremere. They started off as mages, part of the Order of Hermes, one of the most secretive groups of wizards whose nature helped shape the secretive vampire clan. If you wish to find out more about the orders, please tell me, but from here on out I'll focus on the Tremere and how they broke away from the realm of magic and into the domain of the children of Cain. There was an issue among the sect of the Order of Hermes, run by a wizened mage named Tremere. The members of the house found that their once potent magics were losing strength, and one of their most important resources, their elixir of immortality, was failing. Tremere and the mages directly under him had to do something, so he ordered his wizards to research a new way to keep their immortality. Numerous experiments were conducted, but to no avail, until one of the more eclectic mages devised a solution. He used his precious time conducting research that was completely outside of the Order's knowledge base. He had been researching the vampiric condition, using captured kindred as test subjects to explore the bounds of their seeming immortality and their foreign powers. Goratrix, also known as the Betrayer, led Tremere and 5 of his most talented mages in a ritual that would give them eternal life. No one knows what happened, save for those 7 people, but the end result was the beginnings of a new vampiric clan. The mages, after nearly killing Goratrix for removing their inherent magic in his bid to give them immortality, retreated into solitude to explore their new powers, while still controlling the Order of Hermes sect from the shadows. During this time, one of the groups that the Betrayer had drawn his test subjects from attacked relentlessly. This group was the Tzimisce. The mages of House Tremere held the fiends at bay while placating the Order of Hermes. At this time, Tremere would set up a new structure for the growing clan. It was set up much like a pyramid. Tremere and his associates would sit at top, while their orders were fulfilled by those beneath them, and so on and so on. Not only did the leader set up a new hierarchy that would allow his clan to be more easily controlled, but he backed it up with the secrets that he discovered during his studies of the vampiric condition. It took an ancient witch to teach Cain the secrets of the blood bond, but took the 7 a measly few decades to discover its power. With this knowledge, Tremere made sure that every new vampire was forced to drink a mix of blood and be blood-bound to their superiors, and even more so, the members of the clan's inner circle. Over the next century, members of the former Wizards Guild would either die or be embraced during what was called the Omen Wars, where the recently founded clan battled tooth and nail against the Tzimisce. During this time, many discoveries were made, as well as even more enemies. At their weakest point in history, it appeared that the group of weakened mages and fledgling vampires were no match for those whose legacy could be tied directly to Cain. And then, Goratrix once again did something amazing. He created the first Gargoyle. Those of you who have played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines know what a gargoyle is, at least in the world of darkness. Let me tell you, Goliath they ain't.
Kindred invader, monster, I will smash you, crush you, tear the flesh from your bones. Talk no, Kindred are talking, scheming, hurting others with their lies. Monsters you all, abominations, a curse upon the earth. Offer? What offer? Yet another lie? He hopes to control me, to enslave me, just as my master before him. First he sends his underlings to destroy me, and now he wants to make peace. No! Curse him! Curse you all! No! There will be no more talk. Death for you, demon. Death and final darkness.
The man who would become the most hated Tremere in existence went back to his old tricks. He captured Kindred from the ranks of the Gangrel, Nosferatu, and Tzimisce clans. From there, he distilled their blood and created gargoyles from it. These new creatures had sentience enough to think and feel, but were slaves to their creators. Thus, the former wizards were able to turn the tide in the war with the use of new shock troops made from captured enemies. Mind you, you can only keep someone down for so long. The actions behind their creation and subsequent advancements in their new magic, now dubbed Thaumaturgy, did little to endear them to others of their kind. You see, not only were their actions reprehensible in many's eyes, but they came from no discernible bloodline. The Giovanni that had been talked about at length in another video were Usurpers. Yes, they replaced the former clan of death, but the Tremere just showed up as third-class citizens in a world where they were beset at all sides by vengeful vampires and untrusting eyes. Tremere decided to increase their power. They did this the same way that Giovanni did, and many other vampires looking to increase their base power by diablerie. The tried and true way to gain power. But who to choose? After much research, the former wizard chose the antediluvian of the Salubri clan, Salat. After the deed was done, and their clan's leader entered a deep sleep to absorb the powers he had drained from the ancient being, the rest of the clan began hunting down the remaining Salubri. What of their allies, you may ask? Surely someone would come to their aid. Well, without getting too deep into it, the Salubri were never really trusted. The price for being too nice in the world of darkness, or maybe it was because of their power. Whatever it was, no one came to their assistance after the Tremere executed the second part of their ingenious plan. They started a smear campaign. With a little magic, they painted the kindred as infernal, demon-worshipping, soul-draining monsters. After this, they slowly crept into the Camarilla courts and made themselves essential to supporting the local princes. Despite being dubbed Warlocks and Diablerists, they weren't as bad as the Salubri in the eyes of the most important kindred. Not to mention their willingness to use their trademark discipline, Thaumaturgy, to do the dirty work for the Camarilla. They haven't just irreparably damaged one clan, but another in their quest to be accepted in kindred society. The Assamite clan is known for two things: their ability to kill and their want for diablerie. Wishing to curb the skillful assassins, the Camarilla turned to the Tremere, and they delivered. The entire council of 7, in conjunction with the rest of the clan, cursed their blood, giving their clan a unique weakness, something that the Assamites continue to hold a grudge over. The Tremere have cemented themselves in Canaanite society, through no shortage of trials and tribulations, but not without making a veritable ton of enemies. This has not caused them to change their recruitment practices, of course. They tend to pick from a narrow pool of potential acolytes. They must be go-getters, seek out answers, have supernatural inklings, and most importantly, be able to follow orders. Who are then whisked off to a chantry to learn the secrets of their clan away from the prying eyes of their enemies, as well as their allies. Their clan weakness stems from the nature of their embrace. Drinking the blood of the Tremere Elders makes a vampire more susceptible to being bloodbound in the future. Their clan disciplines are Auspex, Dominate, and of course, Thaumaturgy. Auspex gives a vampire incredible sensory abilities. Dominate allows a kindred to control another being through sheer force of will. Last but not least, there is Thaumaturgy, a potent mix of mortal sorcery and vampiric power. This is almost solely held by the Tremere of the Camarilla, but there are whisperings of Sabbat practitioners. There are also many schools that fall under the umbrella of this discipline. The Path of Blood being the most basic. Taught to almost all Tremere, it contains spells that will alert a kindred to the relative power and nature of anyone whose blood that they touch, as well as blood rage that causes other vampires to expend their energy against their will. I leave you with this, a few quotes that show their view on two of the other clans. On the Tzimisce, all you have to do is, quote, peel away the rotten idolatry, and all that's left is the carcass of outmoded mummery. The Assamites may be held in high regard, perhaps even fear, because the Tremere have noticed that they show signs of being able to subvert our rituals, so the time to tolerate them has expired. Are the Assamites something more than filthy, diablerizing assassins? Find out next time when we delve into the lore of another incredibly intimidating clan.